Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of the newly introduced DPL YouTube channel. And we're going to release regular content and hopefully provide some really good stuff for you guys. It's probably going to be a segue from the podcast to a YouTube channel just because there's more opportunity available with YouTube. Although a little harder to produce, it's also kind of sort of more fun. So we're going to try to do this and see if it works. Obviously, there's somebody sitting next to me, two people specifically. Courtney Pipitone, you probably know her from the tables.
And more importantly,
my cat,
this is Theo.
Leo.
This is Theo.
We have two, Theopold and Theodore and Leopold.
This is Theo.
And that's Theo. You remember that my cat's name's better than I do. That's wonderful.
I'm a cat person.
Long hair, L for Leo. That's how we did that and used the mnemonic. Okay. So you can hold him as long as you want until he decides he doesn't want to be held anymore.
He's helping me feel comfortable in the booth.
But yeah, so you have probably seen Courtney at the table before. She's currently the points leader, but there's some question as to whether or not that's still the case.
No, I think Jack passed me up.
Okay, so Jack's giving her a run for her money. So we'll see how the league ends this season. But yeah, she is my guest today, so I'd ask you to welcome her, but you can't, so she's here.
Thanks anyway.
Yeah, if you notice at the top right, if you like and subscribe to the channel, we will be giving away a DPL hat. So as long as you like and or subscribe, we'll pull from that and decide who gets a hat. Without further ado, remember, we're going to try to do this on
Let's get into the video.
We're going to try to do this on every episode. Make sure that if possible to always support your local venue or your venues that you typically go to. It's kind of a quid pro quo in that regard. So the more money you spend, the more likely we get to continue playing social poker at the venues, regardless of which venue you go to. My favorite is the Brew House because it's only 5 minutes away from my house.
And they've got those boneless wings.
That's true. Boneless wings.
They're fire.
I got chicken strips the last time and I offered you some because
you gotta go get the boneless wings because the boneless wings they're revolutionary. They're actual boneless wings.
I might try the boneless wings next time I'm in
they're
Brew
not
House.
like chicken nuggets
You're
that are breaded.
Pretty
they're
hard.
Like actual wings where the bone has been removed. It's pretty revolutionary. Okay. I'm serious.
I've never really thought that deeply about boneless wings, but you seem to like them, so it's worth a try, in my opinion.
Hot honey boneless wings.
We'll try them, I guess. But yeah, support your local venues for the quid pro quo. Like I said, it's important that they want us to be there. So spend money, have a beer, do what you got to do. Obviously, Tone is our owner here, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns that you need to reach out to him about, his email is right there. Are you trying to point to it?
I was trying to point to it.
I can move us, and you can do it there.
Right
there you go.
there.
Yeah, right up there. Boop, boop. Okay. All right, and then this is the DPL Poker website. Reminder, all these links and information emails will be in the content section, comment section of the YouTube post, so in case you're wondering and not wanting to type in those URLs, okay? Move the mouse. There we go. This is my Facebook media. If you'd like to like or subscribe to that, this is my Twitter in case you'd like to follow me there. Any emails you have, questions, comments, and concerns about the videos themselves, you can send an email to me directly, and I will take your input, advice, criticisms, whatever it may be in the email. As long as you put "read this," I will read it. So in the subject line. So there you go. We want to try and, on every video, we want to try and talk about the upcoming events. We want the videos to age well, so we're not going to provide dates and times for the upcoming events. I'll leave it to you to use the links that we provided to find that information, to see if you qualify, when they are, where they are, all of that. So upcoming events. Next up, this particular one for the season championship is number 13, but depending on when you're watching this video, it could be any time. So go to the DPL Poker website and check the leaderboard to see if you're eligible at any given point in time. I know the spreadsheet's available there for you to look and see how many times you won, how many points you've earned, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Bill Noble gets the honorable mention here for the season 12 champion. I'm sorry, Bill, if you want me to remove your face in future videos. This was just the first image I found. So
he's the face of the league.
Yeah, congratulations on that championship.
Ow! He's
hurt.
Back.
Oh, man. Yeah, so sorry about that, Bill. If you want me to take your face out of there, no problem. We can edit it out later, okay? So that's for the season championship. Vegas or Bust is almost always every month, I believe. You just need to earn points at any given time during the month, and you qualify for the following month, I believe. So if you've earned points, congratulations, you're qualified. take a look at the website information to see where it is for that particular month. The East Coast West Coast Championship Step 2 qualifiers happen every week. As long as you have earned a token by placing top 3 at any of the venues, you can play in this event. I believe it's right in front of me. The top 4% get a seat. First place gets a full package. I have yet to earn my seat this year. I'm trying, but it's very difficult.
I think you can manage.
It's very difficult to wade through the peoples and get a seat. It's hard.
A tough game.
It is, and I feel like the blinds move pretty quick for the level of play that you got to do. I feel like I got to concentrate really hard, and I feel like I want to be patient a lot, but it's hard to be patient.
I mean,
you got to do it though.
Obviously, some skill helps, but
patience
really,
is key, I think. Online,
actually,
a little.
There's really no time to be patient, in my opinion.
You're right.
You have to run pretty good.
So if I'm balancing patience and luck, you'd say luck is about
consistently visit the venues, get a token every once in a while. You should be able to get a seat.
I suppose quantity helps, right? So I think you're right. Actually, what you said, maybe 65% luck, 35% patience. Maybe not patience. 65% luck, 35% picking your spots. That's probably more accurate.
Yeah, I mean,
in some way, but
can't be too picky though.
Can't be too.
Well, that tournament goes very fast.
Maybe I'm being too picky when I play, so we'll try. And I'd like to, if we can. I think it would be fun to put an attempt of the thing on the website on the YouTube channel. Like we can have a guest of some sort, and they can play the tournament here, and we can record the whole thing.
Oh.
And then later criticize their place, like the nice people we are. Or I can do it myself, and then we can use that to criticize how great I am at the game, which I'm okay with. Honestly, I think that'd be a lot of fun. So, doesn't make for good content if I'm out in the first blind level every time, though. So we'll see if that works. Just an idea. Anyway, sorry. Moving on. Get a token.
Might have to try multiple.
Maybe I can rebuy. I'm able to rebuy right now, but I don't know how long that will last. Let me see how many times I have to try to get a seat, I suppose. But yeah, get a token. Try to get yourself a seat to Vegas or the East Coast. Where is it in the East Coast? It's
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City. That's right. Okay, sorry, we rambled a bit there.
Because Atlantic City is going to be underwater within 100 years.
Okay, so we're segueing to global climate change. hope we're okay with that. Let's try to refocus here. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Bar, poker.
I have to bring a little bit of
we could do a whole nother thing entirely, a different channel altogether on climate change. So a lot of good podcasts on it, actually. Bar Poker Open, specifically the BPO is sort of the parent company of the DPL. I think that's kind of how it works, sort of. But specifically, they host the Super League Online, the Super League tournament. That's kind of interesting. Currently number 8. Explain that to me, Courtney. What does that mean exactly? Super League we're currently in
I don't know
number
if I'm
8.
Really the person to explain it. So I mean,
maybe I should have read a little more.
I think I have to ask someone this probably every Sunday that I play.
So wait, I think I got it. So
I think it's probably the 8th Super League cycle.
I think
since its inauguration, probably.
I believe that's right. It goes in 4-month segments, I believe, 4 or 5 months. You're not sure. Okay, so as of the date of this video, we're in number 8.
I just like to play.
The Super League is online via the BPO Poker website, and you have to place at a certain point to qualify for that Super League.
I think there's levels of qualification,
That's
maybe 50 something, maybe 50 people qualify, and then certain people get
it is based
add-on or a rebuy or something.
It's based on the number of games that are played for that time frame in that venue or in that in that league. I think
for every 15 games or something, another person gets to play or something like that.
Yeah, Masters tournament is the Masters tournament where you can buy it's for you spend multiple tokens to play in it. Is that what that one is? Or is that's the high roller?
Probably.
That's something
I'm not
different.
Sure. I'm
so,
gonna be honest. I don't know.
That's okay. So instead of making it confusing, refer to the Facebook group to look when these events are announced. You can also go to the
your
BPO.
Fellow players probably know.
Yes, or your tournament directors. They will hopefully definitely know.
Than us,
yeah,
probably.
They probably do. So we need to get. I'm going to save this slide for when I have a tournament director as a guest, so they can clear that up for everybody.
I'm not a TD.
Sorry about that. I kind of relied on her. I should have done my research.
I'm not that responsible.
Yeah, visit the BPO website, DeepStack's website. Talk to a tournament director. Check your email. I know typically people get emailed when they qualify for certain events. So there's a lot of resources out there to verify this information. So sorry about this slide. I don't even know if we can edit this. We're just going to leave it. I'm sorry.
You just embarrassed yourself.
No, I didn't. That's okay. I'm okay. I'm human. I'm okay. This is the
Okay.
first time. We're okay.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what we want to switch up every episode. So we're going to try and introduce the weekly, monthly events every single time, and make sure you all understand where to go for social media to learn more and introduce new players, etc., etc. However, for this segment, this is why Courtney is really here, not to answer my questions, but to talk poker etiquette. And we don't have to talk poker etiquette every time. I just wanted to do poker etiquette because it, one way or another, affects everyone in some way, whether it's etiquette or integrity, either one. I like both subjects because they affect people more or less every single hand in some degree.
I'm super passionate mostly about the integrity of the game. Well, I guess I care more about the word integrity than I do etiquette, but I don't know. I can talk about either. Happy to.
Today,
I'm sure many have heard me on a soapbox before.
I have a couple of times, mostly via text message, just bouncing hand analysis off of it, and you can tend to go on a tangent, but that's okay.
Well, I don't know. I actually am
Face
not
is green.
so Your face is green.
Yeah, it's okay though. We'll deal with it. I just got to do this the whole time.
That's your good angle.
Wait, we're good.
Anyway.
Good angle. Okay. Okay, good enough.
I was gonna say I am less concerned about people's action in terms of the hands themselves, but more concerned about whether they've complied with like the rules of engagement or the rules of the game, because I think it detracts from the game and the hand when people act outside of the rules.
Definitely, yeah. I wanted to try and keep us on the right path. I wanted to try and keep our subject matter focused. However, tangents are okay and rambling is okay.
I love tangents.
To an extent. So I'm going to try to focus on these 3 particular topics this time. And first one being obviously how to properly check down a hand. So to explain that, we're not gonna touch it yet, but hold on. I know you really want to do it. I know you really want to do it. So what we mean by how to properly check down a hand, when or how should you go about a check down when, most commonly when a player is all in, but there are other times when people do it when it shouldn't be done, and how to approach that. Pause.
I'm like ready to spit out my answer. I'm passionate about this.
This is one that some people are great at. I try to be a gracious winner and or a gracious loser, but if I'm being honest, I am mad sometimes and I don't handle it properly. So that's something I probably need to work on, and in return, we're going to talk about this because I am a hypocrite, and it'll make me a better player, hopefully. Maybe not. So, or a better player. It'll improve my etiquette. That's what I'm trying to say. Last but not least, why is it that when we get to the end of a hand and we're ready for showdown, dealer's done, already packing up the cards, that nobody wants to show? Nobody wants to show their hand. Let's say 3 or 4 people are in the hand. Why is this like just waiting? People like, who shows first? I don't know who's supposed to show first. I don't want to go first. My hand's terrible. I want somebody else to show first. So we're going to briefly discuss what you're supposed to do here for a couple of reasons to save time and to follow the rules of etiquette when it comes to poker. Okay.
All right.
I thought these were 3 good ones to start with, but we can always cover different topics. If you have ideas for etiquette, integrity topics, other subject matter that you'd like us to talk about with our guests, whatever you want to hear, send me an email, send Tone an email, whatever you got to do.
Bring me back when there's a topic about mucked cards.
Mucked cards, okay. Okay, so number 1, I'm using PowerPoint to kind of help us here, but we don't have to. Do you want me to just make us?
I already know what I want to say.
You already know. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Back it up.
What did I do? Hold on, previous. There we go. I was trying to click our little window here. Do we want to be bigger or small? Let's make us bigger. Whoa! Oh, you're over the text. Okay, we'll leave it right there. That's good. I like that. You okay with that?
Sure.
Okay, me too. Okay, so poker etiquette. Want to check it down? That's the problem. When you ask somebody if they want to check it down, okay? Your turn. I know you're hurting.
I'm like, so...
Go. Okay.
Actually, like, when you asked me to do this topic, I was, like, really upset because I thought that you wanted me to say that we should be checking it down when someone's all in.
Oh, no.
And I don't think that's necessarily the case. Sure, if you choose to check it down without verbally agreeing to, I mean, that's fine.
Exactly.
But asking if someone wants to check it down, that's soft play and that's collusion.
Correct. Collusion is the big one there. So why do people check it down? Let's talk about that. Why would you check it down?
The idea of checking it down is so that if more players are in the hand, they are more likely to eliminate the player that is all in. And we're all in a tournament, so obviously in a freeze out, the goal is to collect all the chips. So if one person's gone, it's better for the rest of us. But
it disadvantages the person who's all in when you discuss the check. That's the issue, correct?
No, I don't think so. I mean, their
No?
chips are already in.
Well,
I think it's... I don't know. A lot of people get upset when people bet a dry pot, but regardless of whether or not someone's all in, I think people should still be trying to get value for their hands. If someone folds... I mean, personally, I'm not going to bluff a dry pot, but people can do whatever they want. But I think when people get upset, like when people bet a dry pot, they're really just saying, why aren't you playing this hand in a way that makes it possible for me to win, basically.
Yeah.
And I have a problem with that.
For sure.
I think people should be betting to get value from their hands when a player's all in still, to get value from other players that still have action remaining.
So
I don't like the idea that it's like compulsory to check down a hand. If I bet my hand and you fold, you probably weren't going to beat the all-in player anyway, so I don't know why it's a big deal.
For sure, yeah. So when I say the issue is in the communication, can you explain that?
Well, the issue is the communication,
Right.
not necessarily in the communication.
It was a trick statement.
Trick statement.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. It's just horrible for the game to agree to check it down beforehand. I mean, what if one player makes the nuts? You can't check that anyway on the river. So, I guess unless you're out of position. But I mean, why would you want to?
Sure.
I mean, if I flop a set of sevens and someone's all in, I'm still trying to get value from the other players. I don't care who wants me to check it. I'm sorry.
So the collusion is what the big problem is here, correct? When it comes to checking it down.
Yeah, I mean, if someone asks me if I want to check it down, I'll say, you can soft play me, but I'm not going to soft play you.
Yeah, generally, correct me if I'm wrong, it happens when we want somebody eliminated. In your mind, you're near the points, or...
People want to do it, like, all the time, even before close to the bubble, too, and it's like, it doesn't really...
To be friendly, it's not beneficial.
I don't know. I just don't understand it, really. Like, I don't understand what the big deal is about just playing the hand out as normal with no communication. Mm-hmm. I mean, that player is going to get knocked out or they're not going to. I mean... Right. Especially like near the beginning of the game, it doesn't matter. Yeah,
it does no good for you to be checking it down early. You want to maximize value in your hands, even if it just doesn't make any sense to do it.
Right.
So the etiquette issue behind checking it down is
also, why should I let my hand get beat when I have the best hand, especially if I'm confident that I can beat the all-in player? I mean, should I just let someone draw out a flush on my set? Why would I do that? I don't understand.
True.
I want to win the pot more than I care about that person being knocked out. True. Most of the time.
And in a tournament setting, you only get so many hands, so
right.
You should be trying to maximize value on every hand that you get, even if there's somebody all in and or somebody is implying that they're going to check. So it doesn't matter, right? So what's the biggest problem here? It's the potential for collusion. So I suppose to simplify it, if you are wanting to check it down, it's okay to check it down, but you can't communicate that you want to check it down other than simply checking.
Right.
Correct? That will guarantee the integrity of the game. Correct? I think. Is there any better way to explain that? You explained it well better than I could have.
Well,
so I'm glad you're here to explain it.
Well, it's just, anytime if someone
noticed.
asks me to check it down, I'll say, so you want me to cheat? I mean, I don't know, like you want me to soft play. It's collusion. That's the end of story. You can check it. Just check it down if you want to check. The other person's not obligated to. They don't have to agree verbally to do it, nor should they. Mm-hmm. Just play the hand if there's still action remaining.
Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. Just it's okay to check. Checking is an option that you have. It's just not okay to communicate it with the other player. That's if it's a three-way pot and one person's all in or whatever the situation may be. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So as to improve or increase the integrity and etiquette of the game, make sure that if you are wanting to check it down, you simply do that and don't inadvertently communicate that you're doing it, because that is more or less cheating.
I think people just, I don't know, I think people think like if they are able to gang up on the all-in player, they'll be able to knock them out easier, but I mean, really, like, get value out of your hand. I mean, I probably wouldn't bluff a dry pot, but bet your hand. I mean, it's really no different than any other hand.
Moral of the story, bet. Don't stop betting. Bet all of it. Just keep betting.
You
just
can't
go all
win
in.
if you don't bet sometimes.
Yeah, just go all in. So
Just go all in.
just go, yeah.
Just punt it.
Poker etiquette, go all in. Yeah. Okay, very good. So I had a feeling we'd probably want to ramble on this a little bit, just because I've seen both sides of it. I've seen people handle bad beats like a champ, and I wish I could be that person every time, but I can't be. I gotta be honest. I can't be every time. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it hurts.
Hard, sometimes.
I remember a hand recently where I was not a nice person, and I didn't say anything rude or mean. I just shook my head and walked away, and I did squeeze in a nice hand, which is more or less what you should do. You say nice hand and call it a night. Sometimes if only
the best
everybody
you can
did that.
manage.
Yeah, and I managed that, but I still felt like I was kind of rude, just getting up really fast and walking away and not really saying goodbye to anybody. But that's my bad. So I heard you were mad about a hand the other day.
What?
And
No.
I heard it from you though, so it's not like I heard a third party. But
I wasn't mad about the way the hand was played. I was just like mad at the sickest run out ever, especially when I like drove all the way to Brewhouse from my apartment,
that's
and
brutal.
I was out like literally in the first run out.
I tell you what,
displeased to say the least.
It is no fun to drive a half hour and be out in 4 hands. It is not a good
I mean,
time.
when you flop the nuts and you get it all in, like, what are you gonna do? But
Yeah. It's unfortunate sometimes, but that's sort of, it's like you hope that never happens, but there's always a risk of that happening, right? So it's like I have to be prepared for that and retain the mindset no matter what the circumstances, right? So okay, so
it hurt my feelings a little bit, that run out did, but I recovered. I played again later that night and I won. So
okay, so
wait, I didn't mean to gloat. I'm sorry.
I mean, if
we had to redo the whole segment because of me gloating.
Yeah, she's up on the cloud a little bit here and there.
Not really. I just didn't want to sound like I was gloating and I was self-conscious.
It's okay to humble brag once in a while, Courtney. It's all right.
All right, thanks.
All right, so let's think about this for a second. So, gracious winner. How exactly does one be a gracious winner? It's easy, but not easy to execute, in my opinion, especially if you really like playing poker. If you play just to have fun and you don't mind either way, then good for you, because you've got to figure it out. Because I care way too much, and I think that's the problem that most people have, who take it, not that taking it seriously is wrong, because I want to win, so I try really hard to take it seriously and do the best that I can. But when you do that, it sort of ingrains in your passion when you do it that way. So it's more, it swings both ways. So if you're a winner, it's easy to be a winner, but when you're a loser, it hurts so much more, and you don't really feel like you're acting out, and then you realize you are, and then it's like, oh man, did I just do that? Oops. And some people notice it, some people don't notice it. This is for the ones that maybe notice that they're being a bad loser and choose to be a bad loser.
I've definitely been a bad loser before.
I have too, and I'm sorry if I was a bad loser to you, and I apologize.
It's actually like embarrassing to think about later.
It's a cringeworthy. You have a cringeworthy moment.
Well, I'm sure everyone does.
Yeah, they do.
You know, it's like,
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I have a few.
This game is so fun. It like sparks all my favorite parts of my brain. It's such a sophisticated game, but at the end of the day, it's just a game. So like, for us as adults to be a baby about it, it's kind of embarrassing, and I definitely have done it. So
it elicits the worst part
yeah.
of the human psyche. It really does.
Especially when it's something that I think most of us like genuinely care about. Like, it's an awesome game, and I think all of us really are really passionate about it. A lot of us.
I know I have openly criticized a hand or a play in front of somebody, and I can't recall off the top of my head if I've done it at DPL, but I'm sure I have at some point in my poker career. So
we shouldn't do that.
For that, I apologize.
I'm mad at myself for ever having done that.
Yeah, I try.
I know I have.
Yeah, I try really hard.
But here's the thing.
Not to. But
when we're actually playing for real money, we should never be telling people that they're playing bad, because we want those people to play.
Yeah, you need lesser skilled players
Not
to
to
be there.
mention, who are we to say that they are? None of us are professionals.
True.
I know I'm not. So
that's a very good point.
Maybe they
actually
played it perfectly, and maybe I'm an idiot.
I should have put that on here as a bullet point, because that's a great point that I did not think about. You need players to play. You need people to make the wrong plays to be successful. That's more or less.
That's why it's a profitable game for so many. They exploit the errors that other people make.
Somebody
and
has
those
to
professionals, for the most part, you never see them insulting another player because they want to welcome bad players to the game. I'm not saying anyone specifically in DPL is a bad player, but if they are, why would we criticize them? Because theoretically, we should want them in the game as poker players.
That's true. And what happens when you do criticize them? Let's say a hand.
They feel unwelcome, and the whole league suffers.
True. You jump on the answers before I can.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. No, I guess I was kind of saying a hypothetical question. So what happens when we lose a hand that we should win most of the time, but we don't, and we feel that urge to say, whatever people would say. I don't think anybody's like overly rude. They don't say like you're terrible or nothing like that. It's never a direct attack. It's usually like I can't believe you played that, or what were you thinking, or I don't know, something along those lines. But what happens when we do that? We encourage that player to, and now you can answer. So we encourage that player to get better, or we definitely don't.
Well, why would we want to help other players get better?
Why would we ever do that? It's not social poker or anything.
No, in DPL, I think it's great to like encourage each other to be better, but like in a game where there's real money on the line, why would you help your opponent first of all?
And our goal is to
like you definitely shouldn't insult people because first of all it makes them feel unwelcome. Second of all, why would you help your opponent play it the right way the next time when you're trying to profit?
Yeah.
And third of all, it's a bad look. Honestly.
Yeah.
And I know because I've done it before and like I think back and I'm like embarrassed about those times. And honestly, if you get it in good against someone and they suck out on you, you should be happy. There is some peace in that, knowing later on that most of the time you're going to win in that spot. So as long as, poker, they like to say it's like one long session. Mm-hmm. As long as you're making the profitable play, you'll be successful in the long run.
Definitely. And that's actually hard to, in the moment when your emotions are running high.
Sometimes
it hurts a lot. It does. I try to wait to get angry until I get in my car, until I'm driving home, because then I run through the hand in my head several dozen times, and then remember it's like, okay, this is probably okay for this to happen because most of the time I would have won this hand. So why am I mad? There's really no reason to be. I know I'm mad because I drove 30 minutes. That's why.
Right. It's also, social poker, there's also a little level of sting because you went there on your day off. You wanted to have fun, but then you're out in 2 seconds because of the worst beat in the world. But
yeah, it's brutal sometimes.
Just it was your day to relax, and then you just had to deal with this bad beat.
And then you get emotionally compromised instead.
Exactly. And then your feelings get hurt, and then you go home and cry in the bathtub.
Right. Or at least until you get home. Okay. Whatever you got to do. Pop open a bottle of wine, or maybe you got to go home and light a scented candle or something.
Eat some Nutter Butters in bed.
Yeah, whatever you got to do to feel better. So, moral of the story. It's better for the league. It's better for you as a player. It's better for everyone if you can learn how to take the losses in stride. And what's the best way to handle a loss? If you're picking a specific order of words, and you need to say something to get the point across, but then sound respectful and be a gracious loser.
Short-term answer: tap the table and say "good game."
Okay, I would say it's. Actually, no, because you can make nice hand sound. You can say nice hand and sound disingenuous.
You can. Don't be disingenuous.
Or disingenuous. Yeah, is it disingenuous or disingenuous? Disingenuous.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Not sure.
You can say nice hand in a way that it's in an inflection that sounds like you're being sarcastic. So maybe a handshake. I don't know. You decide what's
Fist
best.
pound?
Yeah, there you go.
Fist pound never looks disingenuous.
That's right, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
You can say nice hand and fist bump, and
Yeah.
it'll feel completely natural, I think. I think that's accurate actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to try
There's
that.
actually a woman in the league who says, "Good for you." I actually love it. It's
Hold on. So wait, how would that sound?
So you turn over the nuts, she goes, "Oh, good for you."
Wait, okay.
But she genuinely means it, but it's hilarious.
I was going to ask, is it good for you, or is it good for you?
It's like that.
Like
the
that,
second
okay.
one, it's really funny.
So it's all in the delivery, I guess.
Exactly.
Because that sounds very sarcastic to somebody on the outside.
You.
Yeah. That's good. I'm gonna
Good for
try
you.
that. So fist bump, nice hand.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the least that has the least amount of resistance when you do it that way. Nice hand.
Good hand.
Done.
I just good hand.
Good hand. So that's that's probably the best way to do it, I think.
I have a long-term answer for this one too.
Okay, we'll leave it on the gracious loss column for now. What's the long-term
long-term answer? Like I said, just have peace in knowing that you got it in good if you did. If you made a profitable play. But also, if you lost a hand, maybe check out what you did. Maybe you didn't play it perfectly like you thought you did. I like to go back and think about what I did after I lose. I'm a highly critical person of myself, so when I lose, usually I can find something that I did wrong.
For sure.
And maybe alter your game a little bit, and next time you win in that spot.
True. Perhaps something you did earlier on in the tournament would have
Right.
changed the outcome of this hand. It's all a chain of decision making, right? So I don't know. Maybe you would have had more chips, and it would have altered your decision making at that point.
Maybe if your stack wasn't so little, you'd still be in the tournament. You
Right.
know, maybe if you could sustain a
Yeah.
cooler.
Maybe if your effective stack wasn't
Maybe if you weren't the effective
small.
stack.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, so definitely, yeah. So hopefully we've given you some ideas for how to lose graciously. I think I need to be a master of my own words and work on it myself.
I think everyone just should continually work on it.
Yeah,
It's
I do okay, but I could do
Yeah.
better. So I'm sorry if I was rude. Didn't mean to be. I just get mad, and I try not to take
We're
it
all
out
in
on
our
other people.
feelings now.
Yeah, there you go. So how to be a gracious winner. I looked this up because I feel like when I win, nothing really happens out of the ordinary. I don't say anything, I don't do anything, I just stack my chips and move on, right? Because it feels good when you win the pot, so you don't really think about what you're doing wrong when you're doing that. And I think actually that's probably the best way to do it. The best way to be a gracious winner is to just be quiet.
I always think it's weird when someone who wins the hand says good hand.
Right, exactly. That's what I was thinking. In my opinion, the best way to win a pot and be a gracious winner is to just stack your chips quietly.
And if someone says good hand, you just say thanks.
Thanks. Yeah, just leave it at that. That's all you have to do. Because you have to win several pots to win the tournament, right? So just do that. And what do you need to tell the loser anyway? What are you going to tell them? Thanks? No. You're better off just stacking your chips and being quiet, in my opinion. How else can you be a gracious winner? Is there a better way? Is there a better way to be a gracious winner? Just enjoy the moment to yourself, right?
Right.
And
I don't know. I don't really. Whenever I win a pot, I don't say anything.
Me neither.
Unless if someone says good hand, I say thank you.
I'm just enjoying the moment and stacking my chips.
Certainly don't sit there and say gotcha, got that one.
Or it's like good for me.
Good for me.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I think that covers gracious
Sorry,
winner.
I'm like
you're okay.
causing a visual disturbance
It's
here.
okay. I've been trying to correct the green on my cheek
It's a
the
good look
entire
for you,
thing.
I think.
You get it right in the middle of your forehead once in a while. But
I
it's
like
okay.
that.
And I haven't looked at myself in the camera at all. I'm watching our screen the whole time. So, oh well, it's okay.
Oh yeah, me too. I've been looking at myself.
Yeah, we're professionals here, so I'll figure out how to get rid of the green face at some point in the future. Until then, oh well. I'm sorry, people. All right. Next topic. This is frustrating for me. I don't know why. This is one of the
because it's a
pet
waste
peeves.
of time.
That's the biggest part, in my opinion. We're literally we only have so many
We're on
hands
a
that we
clock.
get, and people don't want to show their third, fourth pair or their ace high or whatever it is that they're doing. I don't know. Why do we hesitate to show our hands at showdown? Simple answer: we want to see what everybody else has before we show our hand. Maybe we have bottom pair and think we might be good at showdown, and we'd rather wait and muck if we don't want people to see our garbage hand. Is that pretty much why we wait or why we hesitate to flip our cards over?
I don't wait, so I don't know.
I don't if it's my
don't
turn.
know.
I mean, I try not to
if
if
I
it's
call
my turn.
someone, I say I called you, and they should flip. If someone makes a bet and they get called, they should flip their hand over immediately.
And that's a call to the rules, because the rules are
or they should just muck their hand if they know it was a terrible bluff gone wrong.
Yeah, that's okay too. That saves time too. So what's the rule? Let's talk about the rule. Instead of waiting for somebody to flip their cards over so we can choose what we want to do, what's the rule? The rule is the last
aggressor,
bet,
the last bet that gets called, the person who made the bet should show down their hand first.
So if your head's up,
That
and
being
you
said, why don't we just show down our hands too?
Yeah, just flip them
And
over.
if there's no further action, turn your hand over.
yeah, so
Immediately. I don't care who you are.
That's true. There are two instances where this happens. When your head's up, when somebody bets, you call. And then the question comes, who is supposed to flip their cards over? The person that originally bet is supposed to flip first.
Right.
Correct? Or, I mean, we could just flip our cards over and save ourselves time, I guess. But a lot of the
sorry.
times...
I meant when we're all in. I didn't mention that. Like, all in pre-flop.
Yeah.
Just turn your cards over. We don't have to wait for someone else to show. They have to be shown down anyway, so just turn them over.
When you're showdown all in, just flip them up.
Right.
I agree with that. And when you're in a hand, the last aggressor is supposed to show first in the order
Correct.
of the
muck.
Or muck. Yeah, in the order of the turns. I believe that's how it's supposed to work. If your head's up, if you bet and get called, the better has to flip first.
That's how it should be.
That's how it's supposed to be. So we want to do this, as we already covered, we want to do this to save time. We only get so many hands, right? So just
we are all on a clock, and the more that we dilly-dally and don't show down our hands, the more we waste time. The blinds are going up. Additionally, it's inconsiderate to everyone else that came to play. I mean, mildly, it's not like it's gonna,
if you
it's
think
not gonna
deep,
ruin the whole day.
We're thinking
but
deep, though. We're thinking really deep. What happens? You're wasting my 4 seconds. You're wasting my blind.
Those 4 seconds add up.
My blind was supposed to be 400 and a 400 ante, but no, you had to take that extra 4 seconds.
I don't get too sensitive about like the blinds increasing, honestly, but it's just like
it's all chaos anyway. It all levels itself out. So.
Everything adds up when there's excessive tanking, when there's people for whatever reason not showing down their hands when they should be and taking extra time. It all adds up, and we're on a tournament clock, so it's kind of a waste of everyone's time, to put it lightly, to not just turn your cards over when you get called on a river.
If we're talking etiquette alone, flip your cards when you're supposed to make sure you're being mindful of everybody's playtime. That's a simple explanation, right?
Right.
And understand when you are supposed to show first. And that will improve the integrity and etiquette of the game, correct?
Is this a thing that keeps happening
I could have just
lot?
said,
I didn't know that it was becoming
No.
I mean, I definitely encounter it
it actually doesn't happen
relatively, with some relative frequency, but
it doesn't happen to a degree that it's like a very, very serious problem, like folding out of turn. Folding out of turn, in my opinion, is one of the bigger problems. And I did not mean to segue into another topic, but I covered that briefly. I believe I covered that briefly on the podcast
episode.
Or whatever. But that's a big one, and maybe I should have covered that one over this one. But this one's important too.
Oh, don't get me going.
Yeah, to end this particular topic, make sure you show when you're supposed to show, and try not to use up time that's not necessary. Okay.
Right.
So with that being said. That was it. How long have we been going? Good amount of time? I don't know where the clock is on this program. Yeah, it took a little longer than we thought. Sorry. My bad.
No,
it's only a 38-minute episode.
Well, is it a 38-minute
That's forever.
episode?
We've been talking for 38 minutes. Almost 38 minutes.
Well...
Any final thoughts?
We've actually been talking for like an hour and a half.
Yeah. Well,
we just messed up the first time.
You've been playing with my cats for an hour and a half. But that's okay. I guess they don't get enough attention.
They're cute.
You took photos, right? So they're going to be on Facebook? Great.
No,
or whatever you do.
I don't
know.
use Facebook, but
you just took cat photos for yourself
just
in case you need a cute moment. Okay, all right.
Put them in my personal camera roll.
Okay, fair enough.
For later.
So, do we have any closing? It's not a courtroom. We're not doing closing arguments. Do you have any closing statements or anything you want to talk about as the first guest? How's the setup? Terrible. It's terrible.
Setup is good.
I've got a white light up here that I need. Look at that. Look on the camera there. Look.
If my hair wasn't so.
Your hair is, I guess, too spaced, so the green screen doesn't do a very good job of it.
Yeah.
I've got blotches that I'll have to figure out, but that's okay.
It's.
What can I do with that?
I always point the wrong way. That light up there.
Oh, see, you guys can see it here. Oh no!
Oh, you just ruined
You weren't
the
supposed
whole
to see
slideshow.
that. No, that's
Oh
okay.
my God.
Okay, so I use PowerPoint. Big
No,
deal.
I don't really have anything else to say. I don't think we covered it in our second go around when we restarted, but I just want to point out, when you were talking about poker etiquette, I just want to say poker is a game of observation, and it's the rules that we follow are there for a reason, and the only people that the rules punish are those that are less observant. And I don't think that there's really any rule in place that gets in the way of the amount of fun that we can have. So, people talk about rule sticklers or whatever. There's really no reason why following the rules should be a detriment to your experience. So, I think we should all just basically focus on acting in turn, keeping the integrity of the game, being polite to other players. Did I miss anything?
No, you covered it. That I was thinking, man, I could not have said that any better. And quoting Tone, that's good.
Well, yeah, that was Tone's thing. Poker is a game of observation.
That's good.
And we learn when we make mistakes, so mistakes are going to happen. I've made them. I've witnessed everyone else make them. I've called out other people on the mistakes they've made. I don't let people pull cards out of the muck if I'm at the table. I will be the first to say it. I would call my mother out on it if it happened. I just want the game to be the best that it can be, and if we follow the rules, then it's a fair game for everyone. And there are real prizes on the line, so
definitely
we should be doing that.
Yeah, we don't want, the goal of these etiquette conversations is to help you improve, not to make you afraid to play.
Poker is such an amazing game. I mean, it's just, there has to be like a hard line. People think there's gray areas, but there's really not. If you look at Tournament Director Association rules, there's really not gray areas. There has to be hard lines. That way the game is fair for everyone. So talking about a hand while it's in play, pulling cards out of the muck, I hope to see all those things stop in the future as long as we keep working on them. You know what I mean? I'm being serious. No. I don't want to be critical of anything. It's just...
These are just some of the potential things we could help improve within DPL. So the content ideas go on and on and on. So if anybody has any specific etiquette or integrity problems that they'd like to discuss or have us or me and another guest discuss in the future, send us an email or send me an email or Tone an email so that we can make sure to get it on the list. These are just the ideas that I had. So if you have any that you'd like to hear...
I have some.
Okay. I guess I'll be getting several emails from
You'll
Courtney.
Be getting a strongly worded letter.
That's fine. Comment section, if you want to see a particular guest, if you want to see Courtney again in the near future, that's okay too. Regular guest perhaps, or I'd like to do tournament directors, so if any tournament directors would like to be on a video to discuss whatever it is.
Maybe Clayton and his promotions.
Clayton perhaps, yeah. Clayton's tournament director primarily up north, I believe, is where he does his up
like
there.
west.
So he, sure, whoever, it doesn't matter. Any TDs who would be interested, send me a message and we can definitely do it. But I think 42 minutes is plenty long for a first video. I apologize for that.
I might have got on one. I usually do.
You actually did okay. You did okay. I thought we would ramble more, but I think I just underestimated how long it takes to
Thank you for having me.
Talk. Oh, no problem. Thanks for entertaining my cats.
Thank you for letting me hold them. That was the best part of my week.
No problem. Reminder: like and subscribe for the hat raffle, and we hope.
Am I eligible? I don't have a hat yet.
I didn't think that through, so sure, go ahead. Like and subscribe. I suppose I'm eligible too, then, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'll buy a hat. I've been actually talking to Tony about buying something for a while. I just haven't done it yet, so I just want to buy something.
I don't win raffles anyway.
Me neither. Never.
Don't even enter a raffle if Angie Pingle is in it.
I don't know who that is, but I'm assuming she's lucky.
A player. She's like a North player. She's on my Civil War team.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, rambled again. Like and subscribe for a hat and support the venues. We hope to see you at the tables very soon.
Bye.
Thanks. Have a good day. Night. Whatever. Bye.